General Hospital latest update. Michael swears to stop Drew and Willow from winning custody, while Jason locks Marco away. But why? As Anna digs into Vaughn, Emma plots to expose Dalton's cruel secrets. Meanwhile, Sonny confronts Sidwell at Natalia's funeral, and the real puppet master may be closer than ever. Today on General Hospital, Anna investigates Vaughn, Lulu has a talk with Jason about Britt, and Natalia's memorial begins. Lucy sits in the church alone and reads the Aurora article on Sonny and Natalia. Sidwell arrives, and it's just them and Natalia's casket. He wasn't expecting to see Lucy, but she says she is his friend and had to be here for him. Lucy is also sorry that he has to deal with the media coverage on Sonny and Natalia today, of all days. Lucy says she enjoyed working with Natalia, who was an amazing woman. Sidwell is concerned that if Marco doesn't get answers as to what happened to her, then he'll never know peace. Lucy can't imagine Sonny was involved, but Sidwell says it's too early to dismiss any possibilities. Lucy asks if it's possible that Natalia mixed her substances. Sidwell cries that anything is possible, and he and Natalia once were very much in love. She gave him a son, and she'll always hold a special place in his heart. However, he fears his son will be haunted by the unanswered questions surrounding Natalia's death for the rest of his life. Lucy says perhaps she can call in favors and get this news story pulled. Sidwell says anything she can do to help ease Marco's pain would be appreciated. Can Alexis get through to Marco? In his hotel suite, Marco reads the Aurora article and ignores texts from Lucas. Alexis shows up to offer her condolences and to try to reassure him, no matter that the article in the paper says that Sonny did not kill his mother. She says the article had no facts and was all innuendo, calling it a clickbait article. Alexis says she knows what Sonny is capable of, both good and bad. She knows he would not hurt Natalia, him, or Blaze, as family is the only thing that matters to Sonny. She knows he has his mom's memorial, so she'll leave him. Alexis departs, and Marco gets more texts from Lucas, which he ignores. What is Michael planning? At Carly's, she, Michael, and Sonny talk in the kitchen. Michael asks to see them to explain that Sasha and Daisy are leaving Port Charles because someone's been targeting Daisy. Carly thinks it must be Drew, but Michael doesn't believe that it's him. Sonny feels that Daisy's abduction and return are a message, indicating that someone wants his attention. All these events, Daisy, the penthouse bombing, that attack in LA, they are all about him. Sonny says he can offer Sasha and Daisy around-the-clock protection. Michael says he offered her that, but she doesn't want to live that way. He says Sasha deserves peace after what she's been through, and he wants to give her that. He just needs them to help him stay strong through this. He says Sasha is taking Daisy for her routine vaccines, and then Jason is taking them to their next destination. Michael says he has to prepare for his next fight, the visitation hearing. If he loses Wiley and Amelia to Drew and Willow, then he has nothing left, so he can't let them win custody. Isaiah sets some rules. At the hospital, Isaiah checks in on Willow, who is happy she is working with him today. She spots Lucas on duty and knows he won't let her work with him on his services. Isaiah says she is an excellent nurse, and whatever is going on, he assumes Lucas knows that. Lucas approaches them and gives Willow some tests to run, speaking in a monotone and cold voice. Isaiah orders them to stop and hash out whatever this is. Isaiah says they need to find a way to be cordial at work. Lucas explains that he and Willow are on opposite sides of an important matter. Willow says Michael took her kids from her, and Lucas says he made his position clear that Drew shouldn't be around those kids. Eventually, they both agree to keep their issues out of the hospital and will do better while at work. Isaiah says, "That wasn't so hard, was it?" Later, Lucas changes into a suit and sees that his texts to Marco aren't being answered. Meanwhile, Willow thanks Isaiah for stepping in earlier and making an awkward situation a little better. Willow says Lucas isn't the man she wants to fight, Michael is. She admits she made mistakes, but soon she'll be married and be able to provide a stable home for her kids. She says Michael will be a divorced man with 3 kids from 3 different moms. Isaiah says he's never heard her like this. Willow says Michael drove her to this, and she thinks back to taking Daisy. Anna is suspicious. At Anna's, she is on the phone ordering a background check on S. Vaughn. Felicia arrives, and Outback runs out of a bedroom with Anna's shoe. She screams at Emma to get out here. Emma runs out. Anna tells her that Outback ate her shoe, and asks how she got into her room. Emma says she must have left her door open when she went to look for a top to borrow. Anna yells that these are vintage, from Milan, and are older than she is. Gio shows up, and he, Emma and Outback take off to avoid Anna's wrath. Felicia asks how things are between her and Emma. Anna admits she's worried Emma is in trouble. She doesn't like this guy, Vaughn, she is seeing, and he's much too old for her. Felicia brings up the age gap between her and Robert. Anna says Robert was a good man, she lucked out, and swears she'll find out who Vaughn is as she put a background check in on him. Felicia explains that Vaughn works at the facilities at PCU, which puts him in contact with Dalton, and she wonders if they are both involved in what happened in California with Emma. What does Jack want Joss and Vaughn to do? Vaughn and Joss meet with Jack in his office. Vaughn fears Anna is onto him. Jack says she likely will investigate him, but Vaughn says his record is spotless. Jack notes that will raise even more red flags for someone like Anna, who is one of the best agents he's ever crossed paths with. Jack makes a call, and Anna has already put a background check on Vaughn. He says if they are going to do this, they have to commit fully, and the 2 of them must become the most convincing couple this town has seen. Dalton shows up and grabs a lounge chair, and complains to Rocco that there are no fresh towels. Rocco says he'll get some. Rocco and Danny chat at the towel station, and Rocco tells Danny what he found out about Britt and his parents, as well as Jason's thoughts on her. Rocco says Danny's dad helped a lot, but he still needs answers. Rocco tells him that he wrote to Britt's mom for help. Dalton snaps at the boys for towels and thinks they need to be paying attention to the guests. Gio and Emma arrive, with Outback in tow, and Emma spots Dalton. Later, Sasha is about to leave when Rocco stops to talk to her. He asks if Daisy recognizes her voice. Sasha believes so, as most moms do, and she also talked to her when she was in the womb, which she believes helps. Rocco then chats with Gio and is glad they are working together today. Gio agrees and says it's nice getting to know him on neutral ground. After a swim, Dalton finds Outback sitting on his chair, and yells at Rocco and Danny for making this experience terrible for him. Gio walks over, and Dalton tells Gio that he wants to talk to the manager and says these 2 boys need to lose their jobs. Emma rushes over and says that the dog is hers, and she snuck her in, so don't blame the boys. She says she can make it up to Dalton by volunteering her time to help him. He admits he could use an extra hand, and so can Joss, so okay. Lulu asks something of Jason. At Lulu's, she asks Jason over and needs him to understand that he can't talk to Rocco about Britt ever again. Lulu explains that this blindsided her and Dante, and they always planned to tell Rocco about Britt. This whole thing brings up painful memories for her of a very dark time. Lulu can't understand how he could paint Britt in a positive light. Jason says he knew a different Britt than she did, and they both must accept that 2 versions of her existed. Jason says Britt knew what she did to Lulu was wrong, and she changed. He says he hurt Britt badly when he married Carly, and all he can do is make sure people know the good and bad about Britt. Lulu doesn't want to know anything about her good side, but Jason points out that Rocco does. However, he says he won't talk to Rocco again about Britt. Lulu thanks him, but is worried the damage has been done. Rocco's been distant and avoiding her. Jason suggests the boy just needs time, and to trust that he loves her and Dante. She thanks him for making her feel better. Jason says he needs to get going as he has somewhere to be. Later, Alexis checks on Lulu and brings up the hit piece on Sunny. She says this doesn't seem like Aurora or Curtis style. Lulu says this has nothing to do with her, as she doesn't work at the paper. Alexis would like her help with the matter. In the show's final moments, Alexis asks Lulu if she can find out who wrote the hit piece on Sunny. Lulu asks why. Alexis wants to protect Christina and brings up that this affects Laura as well. Lulu owes her family everything, so of course she'll help. Anna gets off the phone and tells Felicia that Vaughn's background is squeaky clean, too clean. She vows to do whatever it takes to find out what is going on with him. Jack says Joss's undercover work has given them a clue. Dalton's cloned phone indicates he's not updating anyone himself electronically. So he's using a messenger to update his employer. Dalton arrives at the church to report to Sidwell. Sidwell says his son will be here any minute, and doesn't want him to see them together. Sidwell explains that their mutual friend is unhappy with his progress and is setting up a meeting next week. If Dalton doesn't have the answers, there will be hell to pay. Michael arrives at the hospital to meet Sasha, and Willow notices them. At the pool, Emma tells the boys she is going to work with Dalton, and not just to get them off the hook. She explains that she needs access to Dalton and his files and believes he's experimenting on animals. She has been trying to stop him for over a year, beginning in California, and this is her best chance. Lucas meets with Carly outside Marco's room at the Metro Court. He says he's worried about Marco, who hasn't replied to his messages. Carly uses a MasterCard to gain access to his room, but it's empty. We then see Marco is locked in a warehouse room. He pounds on the door and yells that they don't want to do this. As he screams for help, Jason stands on the other side. Back at the church, Sidwell stands over her casket and tells Natalia, "May you find peace in death that life rarely afforded you. I promise to take good care of our son." Someone enters, and Sidwell expects it to be Marco. However, it's Sunny, who says his son isn't coming. On the next General Hospital, Drew confronts Carly and says Michael's refusal to compromise will cause him more misery than she could imagine. At the hospital, Willow asks Michael what he's done. At home, Tracy has a proposition for someone. At the church, Lucas tells Jason, his blood will be on your hands. Finally, Sunny yells at Sidwell, "You got your son into this, get him out." Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.